Several years ago, one of our sisters related a story that had happened to one of their family friends. His name was Tom Vanderwoody. And Tom was a father who had 7 sons. One of his sons was a Catholic priest. And the youngest of his sons, named Joseph, or Josie as they like to call him, had Down syndrome. And everyone would say that wherever you saw Tom, you saw Josie there too. So Tom trained the altar servers and Josie was right there. Tom coached basketball and Josie was right there. But one day, several years ago, they were outside at the family house kind of cleaning up and doing different chores, and there were some workers there. And Josie rounded the corner of the house and Tom kind of followed him shortly afterwards, and then he didn't see Josie. So he kind of got into a panic and he looked around and noticed that the septic tank lid was left open. So he rushed over and Josie had fallen into the septic tank. And so Tom tried to get him out, tried to pull him out, but he was, kind of dead weight. And so he wasn't able to get him out. And so finally, just at his wit's end, he jumped into the pit to lift Josie up. And he had called to his wife and called to one of the workers, and they were able to lift Josie out. But Tom had been kind of in and out and submerged for too long, and he actually died on the way to the hospital. And the son who was the priest, at the funeral, he shared that while their family was deeply grieving, he also said that it was fitting that his father had died the way that he had chosen to live, that he had died offering his life, pouring his life out for his sons and for his family, just as he had always done. So as we approach Good Friday, as we approach this day where we contemplate the beauty of the cross, we notice that in the beauty of the cross, there is an inherent ugliness. That's sort of what the cross is. We can't whitewash it or cover it or gloss it over. The cross is where Jesus took on all of the dysfunction of human sin. The cross is where he opened his arms and opened his heart and let nothing come between us and the Father. The cross is where all of those areas of brokenness, all of the ugliness we experience, all those things that we wish were not, all of our messiness, he takes upon himself. He doesn't skirt around it, but he goes directly for that. So as we approach the cross this Good Friday, as we look upon the crucifixion, perhaps we can place ourselves in the scene there. So where do you find yourself today? Do you see yourself as maybe the good thief who recognizes his guilt and knows that he needs a savior and trusts that Jesus can be that savior? Or do you see yourself as maybe one of the onlookers, not so sure? Or maybe like our Blessed Mother, who's watching somebody go through something very painful, which is almost more frustrating than if we're going through it ourselves. Or maybe you're united right with Jesus on the cross, going through something very painful. Where are those areas where you need the resurrection, where you need the life of Jesus to come in? Because the beauty of the cross is that there's nowhere where he won't go to find us. And the beauty of the cross is that wherever you are, that's precisely where you need to be, because that's precisely where he comes. And so as we approach the death of Jesus, as we approach his sacrificial offering on the cross, we come again with open and empty hands, ready to unite ourselves with Jesus as he offers himself.